It's almost like we started recording this show, and then someone was an idiot and forgot to hit record. Hey, fellow crappers, it's your old buddy, your old pal, R.D. Reynolds here once again with WrestleCrap Radio. And as always, on the other end of the tin cannon string, Mr. Blade Braxton. Hello? This thing on? Oh, man. Woo! What a show. There's so much to cover this week. We got to hit it right now. Let's hit it.
Hello, everyone. This is your Action News reporter with all the news that is news across the nation on the scene at the supermarket. There seems to have been some disturbance here. Pardon me, sir. Did you see what happened?
Yeah, I did. I was standing over by the tomatoes, and here he comes.
Oh, my goodness. There is so much wrestling news this week. I didn't think we were going to be able to squeeze in a trip to the grocery, but we'll try and get through it. I got 2 weeks of trips to the grocery built up inside me. Right inside my innards.
That should make some of the loyal listeners happy.
Oh, goodness. Well, last week, you have to excuse me. Woo. Maybe I should have
Is that your innards? Is that your innards coming out?
They're going to be my outards soon. Maybe I should have got some cough syrup at the trip to the food mart. Anyway, remember when we were kids? How many different types of Coke were there?
There was just Coke.
That's right. There wasn't Coke, there wasn't Diet Coke, there wasn't any of that. There was Coke. If you wanted a Diet Coke, you drank a tab. And if you drank a tab, you may as well have been drinking battery acid.
Hey, I used to like Tab, and I also used to like Pepsi's diet drink they used to have. Pepsi Light. Do you remember that?
No. I couldn't tell you about any of the diet drinks.
Well,
Hardy doesn't do diet sodas. Mm-mm.
I wasn't dieting when I was 3. I was already buff. But it came with like a lemon. There's a lemon on the front. It had like a lemony light taste. Oh man, it was great. Well worth the saccharin, which causes cancer in laboratory rats.
Speaking of chemicals that cause cancer in laboratory rats, I don't know if you've seen this, but there's a new Coke out. It's called Coke Plus. Have you seen that?
Coke Plus.
Mm-hmm.
What does it contain? What is the plus?
Well, here's the plus. Let's say that you're drinking a Coke, and you're like, boy, this is very tasty, but you know what would be even better? If it had vitamins and minerals in it. Leads to this week's trip to the grocery. We're going through the food mart with one of the 3 gallons of milk that we have, and all of a sudden, we notice that we're leaving a trail.
I used to hate people like you. I used to work at a grocery store.
What do you mean? What do you hate me?
Because these numbskulls would pick up these broken milks and they would leave a trail all throughout the store.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's my fault. Walmart makes their manufacturers do everything so cheaply that they use the lowest grade plastic. How is it my fault that the milk was leaking?
So when you grabbed it out of the door, you should have noticed, this thing's wetter than Linda Hogan's boob during an aerobic session. Let me put it back. It may be leaking.
Wow. What a fine show this is. Okay, so I'm going through the store, and Mrs. Deal notices that we're leaving the trail.
Yeah.
And so she's like,
in a good way.
like, well, let's get this thing out of here. And she's like, well, go find someone. And I'm like, what? Go find someone? What are you talking about? She's like, yeah, and give them the milk. I was like, no, I'm just going to throw it in the trash. right? Because they're not going to sell it. I would hope. I would hope they're not going to sell it.
You've never worked at a grocery store.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Mr. Kroger IGA Marsh. Why don't you tell me what I'm supposed to do with a leaky gallon of milk? What am I supposed to do with that leaky gallon of milk?
You hand it to the proper authorities.
I'm in Walmart. Who the hell's the proper authority?
They go back.
Is there like a milk police? Who are these proper authorities you're talking about?
Is that Cheap Trick's sequel to the Dream Police? The Milk Police?
Oh, Lord. You know, your days may be numbered. Maybe that's why I'm running this contest. Do you ever stop to think about that?
Oh, I don't have to be Oliver Stone doing a biopic on JFK to realize this conspiracy theory.
Did you hear the gong? That may have been the gong for you, my friend. Let's leave the co-host auditions behind. You and I could argue all night about this. Wouldn't make for good radio. Not that this is ever good radio, but...
Maybe we should get George Steinbrenner and the Bushwhackers to help us with this one.
Time to, once again, hand this show over to the WrestleCrap radio listeners. Time for the mailbag. Hey, we got to get through the mailbag quick. So are you ready to answer questions? WrestleCrapper Puff Master Mark writes,
what's he puffing on?
Are you as sad as I am that CM Punk did not join the ECW Originals so he could form a tag team with the Sandman? They could be called the Odd Couple 2000, and Punk could follow the Sandman during his entrance and pick up his tossed beer cans with an umbrella. WrestleCrapper Eric Majorwoods writes, good old Eric Majorwoods, says, your comment on Jethro bowls of cereal got me thinking of the Beverly Hillbillies. Yeah, that's good, Eric, since I'm glad that it did. That's where the reference came from. Anyway, the character that played Jethro on the Beverly Hillbillies was Max Baer Jr., son of boxing champ Max Baer. Your co-author from WrestleCrap was Randy Baer. Any relation between the two? Not to my knowledge. I don't know what that Randy Baer guy is doing these days. You?
So he's been awful quiet lately since the release of that first book. I've been wondering when he's going to come out with his own follow up to that fine tome that he wrote.
It's like he just vanished. It's like he vanished from the face of the globe.
Is that guy in jail? What the hell happened to that dude?
Oh,
it's going to be impossible for me to get his autograph on that first book.
I don't know how you would get that. That sucks. Only right here at WrestleCrap Radio. Obscure wrestling news. Right here. The Factstrolla. Spitting out the news. Award-winning.
Yep. Praise.
You know, the show is just kind of... It's like it's run out of gas. Maybe we just need to get into a big fight. That's what Sean O'Hare likes to do. He's in a bar fight.
He's a big dude.
He is a big dude.
But then I'm not telling you anything you don't already know.
I love that gimmick.
So those are some of my favorite little vignettes that I'd seen since the Waylon Mercy days.
I actually thought he was a lot like Waylon Mercy. And people always email, have you never covered Waylon Mercy on the site? Because Waylon Mercy isn't WrestleCrap. I thought that was great.
Oh, it was great. Although, I did try to do all the fans of Waylon Mercy justice by inducting his worm as a Jobber of the Week one night.
Mm-hmm. Loved Waylon Mercy. The only thing I didn't like about Waylon Mercy is he wore those white pants. He looked like a guy that would drive an ice cream truck.
That's one gimmick that's never been done in wrestling before. An ice cream man. How did that one escape Vince in like the mid-90s?
You could even get the music. I'm the ice cream man. Stop me with a passerby. Oh my. Remember that
Great
one
song.
week you were. I don't think we recorded it, but you were talking. Oh, I know when it was. We were getting ready for the April Fool's show. And you were doing your R.D. Reynolds impersonation, and it sounded just like David Lee Roth.
I think we should just do. I think I should just do a whole show as you, like channeling the spirit of David Lee Roth.
Ow!
Oh, let me tell you about that Yankee Rose obscure wrestling news.
Ow!
Right now, we're doing current wrestling news. Hey! What's happening?
Should I just hit the outro?
Over the top, Dad.
Very gong happy tonight.
Must have been partying like Roth.
Before you even start singing, it's a preemptive gong. And they called him Wildfire. That was the music, that was R.D. Reynolds when I was a heel manager. That's what I'd come out to.
That's great.
Because I always thought that coming out to a song about masturbation would be comical.
Nathan Jones, condemned. Jones 316, I just vitamin D'd your ass.
Brian actually called it the worst match in the history of St. Louis.
That's saying a lot, considering that Sting wrestled the Black Scorpion coming out of the spaceship in St. Louis.
Mm-hmm. Why does it stink so bad in the dairy section of Walmart?
My phone kind of cut out when you were saying that. Did I hear you say if you wanted to punch Vincent in the chimichanga?
If you want to wind up, ball your fingers into a mighty fist. Get that big old ham hock ready. And you want to slap Mike Jones right in the nutsack. Like a ping pong ball, perhaps. You remember the old dunk tanks?
Yeah.
What if we took that target off of there? And just, like, crazy glued it to Mike Jones' crotch? It charged, like $5 a lick for a ball.
Yeah, I mean punching him, not licking him in the balls.
And you can just keep throwing balls. It's Vincent's balls.
That's great. We should set up a carnival and have that happen.
Okay. I've been trying to come up with some excuse to have all the WrestleCrap listeners and fans and such get together for some kind of gathering. I think you just found gold. A WrestleCrap Carnival. I was thinking like a WrestleCrap wrestling show.
No, Carnival.